fact. That's Lawrence.
No more room in hell. The dead will walk here.
Look at Joe. And what up, Horror Fiends? It's your boy, Ricky Grimes. I'm back with the Three Corners of Horror. Horror Fiend TV presents JR, Joe the Psychologist. What's up, my brothers? How are you? JR, I'm gonna start with you, brother. What's good, bro?
This is going to be interesting. Either destroy all neighbors or destroy all viewers.
Joe, look at Joe. Yo, Joe, you nice right now, Joe?
Oh yeah.
I can see it. I love it. What up, brother? How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I will say that when I watched this, it was fucking up my, it was fucking my shit up. And not in a good way.
Oh yeah, I saw it sober. That's crazy.
You saw it sober?
I saw it sober.
What?
Yeah.
I was sober.
Check it out, Joe. Oh shit, Joe.
Oh, we both got junkie.
Hold on. Oh shit. All right.
I was sober by the end. I will put it that way.
Well, if you're not comatose yet, we will be discussing the 2024 film exclusive to AMC Plus Shudder, Destroy All Neighbors. This film is directed by Josh Forbes and it stars Jonah Ray as William Brown, Kieran Deal as Emily, and Alex Winter as Vlad. What up, fellas? You ready to do this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Joe,
Wait, hold on.
I'm
Did
sorry.
you-
Huh?
Did you like the movie?
We're
Come
talking
on, this is what
about
we
it.
were talking
No,
about.
I know we are.
No.
Because I was
No
like
cheating.
scared, like
No
I was.
No cheating.
No, I'm like, oh god, is this gonna be Psycho Gorman?
I'm used to it, man. I gotta stop. I gotta put that to the side, and that's a bad habit of mine. So ever
No,
since
you're
that
good.
live stream, I just told myself respect everyone's opinion from now on. So all right, ready? So it's funny because I gotta bring this up though because Joe the psychologist does the formats, and my boy wrote Jonah Hill as Jonah instead of Jonah Ray. How you feeling, Joe?
I'm fine, and it's funny because you said that, and I was looking at the notes, and I'm like, Jonah Hill. I don't remember him being in the movie. And then you guys said, "Well, sorry." Oh no,
So-
I guess I must have been
Not
feeling
Jonah
it when I
Hill,
typed it.
Jonah Ray. He plays William. If you're not familiar with the actor, he was in like the rebooted version of Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's what I know him from, and he reappears once again in this film. Not that he hasn't been around; he's done other things, but that's what he's most known for. But this is a guy that's a prog musician. Did any of you two were you familiar with prog? Any of you?
No.
Well, I assumed that prog was short for progressive rock.
It is, yeah.
But so yeah, and I mean, I did look it up.
I
just to make
couldn't
sure I
tell you
was-
what the fuck is the difference between prog and like rock.
It's a different the music. So we're all used to the same instruments going through the song. With prog rock, it'll like all of a sudden you'll get a flute playing in there. You just get like different sounds, and even like the way that the vocals are being sang, like you have one like the song sound consistent. All of a sudden it's like dub jumping in there out of nowhere. So that's kind of what prog rock is.
Yeah, well, this guy's been working on the album for like 3+ years. He lives in a shady apartment with his girlfriend Emily. He's oblivious to everything around him because he's so tied to his work, and nothing else matters to this guy. Now this neighbor comes in, Vlad, noisy motherfucker with this. I don't know, Joe. You love this EMD music. I am not.
Oh
a
no, I
fan.
was not a fan of the. Oh yeah, the one he was into.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Vlad's music.
I when Vlad's music kicked in, I'm like, I know Joe is loving this because Joe's a big fan of EDM. So I'm not, but that's okay. It's all subjective. But yeah, so this guy, he knocks on this guy's door after numerous attempts of building up the courage to do it. Even his own girlfriend was about to do it. He's like, no. But yeah, I mean, after a loogie and cops aside, he finally grows the balls to do it. All hell breaks loose. What do you think is going on with William throughout this movie? And if you want to elaborate more on the character and his current situation, Joe, since you picked this movie, go for it, brother.
I didn't pick this movie. It was JR.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was JR. It's
Yeah,
the
because
Vegas.
this came up brand new, so we're like, hey,
No,
let's talk
JR
about
did
this one.
Sister Death. I thought you did this one.
No,
No.
both.
And if I would have watched it first, I would have told you guys, we need to pick another movie.
They're gonna
So
help us from the Philippine one.
hey,
Oh
hey.
yeah.
All right, I still can't.
Which one's better? We'll talk about that. All right, well, Joe, let's get back
Anyways,
to the
so
task at hand. William, let's talk about William. What's up?
well, because as you said, like here's the thing. I was kind of confused if some of this shit was all in his head. Like, was he imagining half this shit? Was it really happening? So I'm not saying the movie's that deep, but I'm just kind of saying that for a couple of times I'm like, well, is he just imagine like is this guy just fucking finally losing? Is imagining? Because again, all the shit that you see in there is pretty far out there.
Hmm?
So, is he just again imagining it? Nobody saw the bodies, but then they kind of make you think that it went all, and I think what was it, the follow-up to Silence of the, or was it the third one, where the guy trained the pigs to eat the
Hannibal?
human flesh?
Hannibal.
Hannibal. So, you had like a little bit Hannibal thing in there when they were showing these pigs eating away at what would have been one of the dead bodies, but there was no bones left. So again,
By the
it was
way, that pig, great actor. His name is Daryl. By the way,
the one in which movie?
the
This
pig.
one?
And this one,
Oh, his name is Daryl.
Daryl. Well, the actor, yeah, the pig actor, Daryl.
That's such a random thing, and I'm like, The Walking Dead. But anyway, yeah, that's like I just didn't like. Was this kid just nuts and imagined this whole entire thing? And when he went to jail for, did he go to jail for killing the people, or because he took the producer and the fucking, I guess, singer hostage? So
We don't know.
that's what I'm saying. This movie was kind of like
'Cause technically, he didn't kill anyone, right? Well, no.
supposedly.
He did
So-
kill the old guy, the bum. He ran him over.
Well, did he though?
Yeah, did he?
Physically, he did, yes. Even though it was the other guy's hand that pushed the gas, but you can't prove that. So
I know, but all right. Again, that's like
it was his vehicle that did it. So
all right. I mean, I had no idea what the fuck was going on with him. Being so, and I guess I didn't know prog rock can make you imagine this shit.
Your boy Augie, so I knew Joe was gonna like that character, Augie. He wanted his croissants, bro.
That poor guy though, that the face plant of the car in his face, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, how about you, Gia? What were you thinking was going on in this guy's head, bro?
I just thought he was a struggling musician who didn't want to listen to anybody's music but his own. Because remember, there was a scene. There was his girlfriend said something in the film where, before Vlad moved in, there was another neighbor whose music was playing too loud that he had an issue with. So it seemed like any music that wasn't the one he was doing mattered the most. But at the same time, he has his conscience is coming through a phone as a rocker trying to give him advice, which yeah, that messed me up. 'Cause I'm sitting there like, all right, is this dude imagining?
That was in his head, I'm assuming, right? The guy's
It
talking
was,
to
it
him.
was, but it
What,
was
on the phone?
on
Yeah.
the phone.
No, because when him and the charred up neighbor ran by, the security guard, the security guard was watching the rock guy on his
right,
phone.
but remember, the rock guy was giving him advice. How to
Yes, he was
Oh,
talking
so he was
directly
telling
to
him
him.
through.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah,
sent
there
to
you
the
go.
phone,
So,
yeah,
He's
So,
really
yeah.
watching the video, but in his mind, the guy's talking directly
yes.
to him.
so see,
Remember, the
alright,
guy gave him the advice on how to freaking
get rid of
dispose of
the-
a body with
Yeah,
the
see,
acid or whatever.
I
Yeah,
thought
so,
of Breaking Bad immediately when he said, "Put the body in the bathtub, get that." Which he never did the acid. I was like, "Come on, how you not gonna what?" That's like the best way to kill someone.
you know what
Don't
messed me up
dispose of
too
body.
is the fact that this actor reminded me of another actor who you see him mostly in the Jonah Hill films with yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The skinny kid with the black hair.
Yes, he's the guy who was, and this is the end. He was in that, right?
Yes, he was the one that was pissed off because he wanted to go to James Franco's house. I
Mhm.
thought it was because the way he acted was similar to him. I was like, yo, this. I had to go double check. I was like, is this dude his brother or something?
I can see that. I can see that.
Because they act the same. But yeah, I think William was just basically a struggling musician who had no chance in anything, and nobody believed in him. I mean, he had a beautiful girlfriend who kind of pushed him, and yeah, it was just weird. I think he was bound to break, and
Mhm.
the whole thing about it is, did he really break, and exactly the hell happened to all these bodies, which totally threw
Yeah.
me off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally figured he was like wrapped up in his own work, that he just pretty much started losing base with reality around him.
Yeah.
And it's weird because in a scary way, it kind of reminded me of myself. Like when I'm locked into my computer doing my editing and stuff, uh, my girlfriend be hitting me up, and I'm like, no, I'm busy. I'm doing this. Let me finish. You know what I'm saying? Then after the fact, I'm like, oh damn, man, I felt kind of bad about it. So when I saw this movie, I'm like, is that what they're trying to get at? Is that the theme here? I mean, I understand what they were going for with the whole creative aspect of this, whether you're a writer, director, even content creator. Everyone gets so like engrossed in their work that sometimes they do lose base with what's going on around them. And I speak from experience. I'm not speaking for YouTube, but for myself, I've gone down that hole. So I'm like, okay, I get the message of the film, but it was everything else around it that I wasn't really a fan of. I'll be honest. I mean,
Okay.
the movie does has gore, a lot of gore actually. Some I'm a fan of, and some is the kind of stuff I just do not like. You know what I mean? Joe, I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm sorry, JR. I apologize because I know what Joe is gonna think, but I know JR is less of a gore hound. So, what did you think of the way they handled the practical gore effects here? It was, very slapstick too.
Oh, it
So
was.
keep that in mind. So, what's up?
No, I mean, probably my favorite one was the landlady. When he went to go visit her body, because it reminded me of a body you would see in Return to Living Dead.
Yeah,
That's what it reminded me. I mean, they did play homage to some of the old fashioned practical effects,
which
like
is cool. I don't mind when
Yeah,
they do
yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
didn't mind that. I mean, I know, take everybody's stunned to hear. I mean, the whole blood squirting profusely is such an overkill in a lot of movies that you see it and you don't care for it,
yeah.
because it just gets a little bit outrageous. I mean,
We talked about that in the sadness review when
yes,
that great subway
train scene.
train scene, but that one shot just
Took you
takes
out of
you
it.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I like the way Vlad died, because I thought it was a little hysterical, but at the same time, I think
That's the
this
kind of guy you would hang out with, right, JR?
I would chill with that. That was cool, man. Come on, bench pressing in his house, listening to EDM, eating chicken,
Yeah, but what was the bench pressure? Like cinder blocks? What the
cinder
buckets
blocks.
of
Yeah,
shit?
I thought
cinder
I
blocks.
thought no, I thought it was pails. He had pails
No,
of
he had
Pails,
cinder
right? Yeah.
blocks, but he had the cinder blocks too. He had the
On
he had
top
the
of the
pails. Yes,
yeah, that's
yeah.
what it
yeah.
okay.
No, but I mean, the practical effects were
I'm sorry,
cool.
that music. I thought it
Uh,
Joe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I pictured Joe with glow sticks.
I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
Joe is so into this scene right now. I guarantee you, because Joe Vlad was going in with that fucking
Oh,
music.
he was, and he was when he was sitting there. He's like, "Wait, here it comes." I'm like,
What was
"I
he
feel
saying?
you."
Music you can fuck to.
Yep.
the thing too is the timing. Once again, we did not get gore anything in this film till the 45-50 minute mark, and it's an hour and 25-minute film.
That's what I love about having JR on here, because he keeps track of that stuff. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it took
That's
so
interesting.
long for it to start getting into the, because I read the synopsis of it. I read, oh, this movie is very gory. I'm like, all right, cool. So then they're waiting and waiting and waiting. I was like, are you serious? And then it took to that point in the movie to show everything. And then, I mean, like I said, I give them kudos. The practical effects were pretty good. If they could have did it a little sooner, because yeah, I just feel like the whole time you're just waiting for something to happen.
A lot of character build up and
Too
development
much character
leading
build
up
up.
to it. Yeah, especially for a movie like this, which is more dark comedy.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Joe?
Me, I like the practical effects. It felt like sometimes like our '80s movies, the old school ones. Um, I the torso with the intestines or whatever it was that was that can move around. Actually, I don't know. I didn't hate it, especially when it can do its own shit. Even though I thought when he was I don't, who were they? Who was trying to? I think the music producer when he was trying to get away and you saw it moving, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
god, are they about to do Evil
Yeah, I
Dead?
thought they were gonna go. The Evil Dead.
Yeah, I'm like,
but-
oh
wait a minute, mind
no.
you left out something. Why were these motherfuckers in their underwear to begin with? What the
Oh, well, because they were partying. They
Nah,
were
they were doing more.
they were
than
bobbing.
partying,
They were all going. Yeah, well,
you
maybe
could
the
tell
drugs.
that the producer would do anything. What's that guy? What's that guy called? Chad Bang, whatever the fuck is. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Irrelevant, but yeah,
That
I
guy
was
was so obnoxious. But yeah, no, I I agree with the blood part because again, it was meant to be funny. Here's somebody who never thought he was gonna chop up somebody, and you're just getting hit with all this blood, and you're just gonna keep going. I mean, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I would have a towel so I could just keep. I'm gonna get hit more, but I'd rather just keep wiping so I don't get covered completely by blood. Not that I would ever chop somebody's body up.
I would get like some kind of like plastic tarp,
Body thing,
put it
yeah.
over me. Yeah, what the hell, bro?
Oh, let me ask you guys something real quick. When he killed Vlad, the fact that he went to the store twice with blood all
More
over.
than twice.
I mean, I'm sitting there, dude. You covered him. What?
Yeah, and you're returning because whatever he got didn't work, so he was returning it to get something
No,
else.
he forgot the extension for the plug.
Oh
He
yeah,
brought
that's
the wrong
right.
adapter. He brought the wrong. Didn't have the
He kept
adapter.
having to go back for
Yeah.
for accessories. So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was, and I'm in my head going, security cameras. Like you didn't even think about the fact every time you're gonna walk into the store, it's kind of obvious.
By that point in the film,
The
all logic
obnoxiousness.
was out the window.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey Joe, let me ask you this too. All right, this is a comedy, obviously. So, I mean, going into, I didn't read synopsis. Jared did. I don't think you did, Joe. Right?
I knew it was a horror comedy.
You knew. So did I. I knew it was a horror comedy.
That's about it.
Did that help you with the film, or did it deter from it? Like, how did the comedy? Like, did you find it funny? And if you did, what was the funniest moments that made you laugh in this film? I mean, I'm curious because.
All right, so because as I said, I'm doing the California Dry January, so I make sure to do that right before I watch the movie. Comedy. Let me get and some of the comedy felt flat. The Vlad and William fight, like it was funny, but then it went a little bit trying to be too funny. So it's like I'm like, damn it, I'm trying to laugh. You keep fucking it up by actually doing something even dumber. But when he impaled himself and he's sitting there going, no, it's okay. We could just put it all back in. We could just put it all. I mean, I cracked up at that. That was probably like the only moment where I actually was cracking up.
When we did Gremlins, our anniversary review on that, and we came to the part when they were eating the chicken, and you said, oh, that shit was fucking good. The chicken in this movie, when Vlad offered William, did that look good to you? Would you have eaten that?
No.
Nah, that's
not either.
nasty. All right, we gotta make sure because Joe likes cold chicken, bro.
And I will say, because we haven't mentioned it yet, because I knew that Alex Winter from The Lost Boys was in here.
All right,
but he was who was under Vlad through all the makeup.
Yes, you know how I knew, because you could tell that was when I said my piece, I didn't get to that. I apologize. I totally skipped over that. As far as the makeup is concerned, the gore effects were cool. Some of the stop motion stuff was like, kind of took me out of it. But Vlad's makeup, I fucking hate it. When you have The Exorcist and Max von Sydow, the guy was like in his like early 30s in it, and they made him look so old that he looked like the way he looked when he passed away in real life. You couldn't tell it was an old age makeup. I hate it when they do older makeups and it just looks so crappy and over the top, and you could tell it's fake and it's a character. It's just way too overdone. They overcook that makeup job. I knew immediately, okay, that's Alex Winter because he's in it. I knew he was in it because his name was in the fucking credits right in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that until I saw his name. Oh, Alex, the Lost Boys? Bill and Ted, he's in here? Fucking Bill? He's Bill. Yeah, he is Bill, right? Regardless. So when I saw Vlad, I'm like, oh, God, this makeup is horrible. And I'm like, he's one of the main characters. I got to continue looking at this ugly motherfucker throughout the entire... Oh, God. That just... Anyway,
He looked like a combination of leprechaun and a troll.
Yes, thank
you.
You
He looked like to me. He looked like a broke version of Super Mario.
Oh yeah.
Like if you
He looks
never
like
rescued Princess.
he looks like Mario on crack, bro. That's what he looks like, bro. I was not a fan of that character.
No.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Joe.
no.
I'm sorry. I digress. It's up. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like I said, that was like the only funny part that I found in the movie. Because then from there, the over topness on what was supposed to be funny just kept falling flat. And by the time when it got to the big giant thing at the end, I'm like,
Ah.
and I was like, I'm gonna kill JR.
When that part
That's
came
all I
up,
thought
I'll
about.
be
I was
honest. When
like,
that part came up, Joe, I went for my phone. Like, all right,
oh,
I'm out.
I
I
was
am
like,
out.
I'm gonna kill JR, and I'm like, neither guys had commented like the last couple days. I'm like,
Because we
they
don't
have
like to
not.
talk.
No,
All right,
I know,
when we
but
review these, we don't communicate with each other what we
each
think.
other.
We save it for this. So.
But sometimes every once in a while, one of us will send a "oh boy." After we never talk. We just send like one or two little words, and we know it. And I'm like saying like, yeah, well, I guess we'll find out when we review it. But yeah, when that big giant thing came up, I'm like, ugh, god damn, I'm
Yeah,
done. And I'm like, and I gotta finish this shit.
and that was the point where I was completely checked out, bro.
Yeah.
That was just like, no, that's not funny. I don't know what they're going for. Like, what are they doing, bro? Gee, I'm
The
sorry.
kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's killing me, man. But I could keep going and on a rant, but I want to hear what GR got to say.
I'll be honest, as I'm watching this movie, I'm going through Instagram, seeing all the people who said watch it. Because like people were like, oh, this is a good movie. This is funny. I'm like, who the and like you have magazines like Collider saying, oh, this is hysterically funny. This
It's getting good reviews, which I don't understand.
I don't get it.
What am I missing? What am I missing? I don't know.
Because I'll be honest, I didn't find anything funny in this film. Not once did I laugh in this film. I was wondering where the comedy was at all. The one scene that you had the most potential of comedy felt totally flat and forced. Like the scene where he goes in his van and he's stopped by the security guard. That had the most potential to be the funniest scene in the whole film. And their back and forth was just so bland. It honestly looked like they didn't even think it was funny. Like the
What's
actors.
his name? Kamal or
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a good actor.
yeah.
He's
Eternals. He was in Eternals.
he's a funny dude.
Nanjiani, Camille Nanjiani,
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's the main.
He was in Stuber or whatever that movie.
He's a
Been
good
in a
dude.
lot. He's been in a lot of roles where he's been hysterically funny.
I'll push back a little bit because before I get to my part, you mentioned that it was funny that you say that. That was the only part in the movie I fucking laughed at, to be honest with you.
Their back and forth had a lot of potential.
When he said something like he's gonna give him $14.
Yeah, 14.
He gave him that tape. All right, see, I'm a collector. This is part of why I connected with it. When he gave him that tape, this is a very rare recording. It's worth $400. How do I get 400? Oh, sell it to a musician. Where? eBay.
What
eBay. I gotta create an account. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Why don't you sell it? Give me the $414. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Well, the $14 you were gonna get. I think that
yeah, and then he tells him to leave, and then he goes in reverse, and then he goes back to get the $14, and dude's pissed off. What are you taking the $14 for?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You have that scene had a lot of potential. And
you know what it was? I get what you. All right, what you're. That little moment stole the show for me, and I wanted more of that in this film.
Everything else,
right?
I see where you say it fell flat to you because it was such a small dose that you really can't. But I saw the potential. I think that actor should have been in this movie more.
Well, I think not for nothing, and I'm not disrespecting Jonah Ray, but when you have Thomas Lennon in this film and you waste him completely,
who that?
Thomas Lennon was the guy who was the producer. He's been in so many movies.
I never heard of him.
He's freaking hysterical. You ever watched the movie I Love You, Man?
Yes, Paul Rudd.
Well, Paul Rudd. But he went on a date with him, and the dude kissed him.
That's him.
That's him.
Oh, God, it's been ages.
And I promise you've seen him in other stuff.
Yeah, but his bits are always hysterical, and the fact that when I'm watching this movie, I was like, this dude should have been the main character because he has a way to hit his humor, and his humor has always been sarcastic, and he's hysterical. And the fact
wasn't bad in this film because he was the only character that I was. he
That
made me
you
like,
were interested
oh,
in.
I hate this guy because he like, oh, this sounds great. And once the fucking
Yeah.
cokehead comes in and trashes it, oh yeah, this sucks. You
Yeah.
know, we all know people like that.
I was gonna say we all know somebody like that.
Yes.
But I'm saying that's the thing. He's such a good actor. For you had two guys who have natural like charisma and comedy that they should have been in it more. The lead guy, he just wasn't funny to me. I mean, one reason because he reminded me of the other actor from This Is the End, who I'm not a fan of his comedy either because he's
Yeah,
just,
me neither. I'm not a fan
he's
of him.
flat
either.
and bland.
Well, that's why he's not around. Really.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. This dude did the same thing. It's just it wasn't funny to me at all. Like that one scene had the most potential in the whole film, and it just got progressively worse as it went.
Yeah,
To
you're
the
right.
point
It
where
did.
you just like, where's the
Especially
comedy?
that climax. Oh my god.
That was
If
the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
If they
man.
thought that was supposed to be funny, then
It's terrible,
God.
terrible.
And I don't understand. I don't just this movie, it destroy all neighbors. You know what? I thought of that. You know, I grew up playing video games religiously. Remember that? What was that? Zombies ate my neighbors. Remember that? Or
Yeah.
destroy all humans.
Destroy humans.
I'm thinking along those lines. But the fact that destroy, all neighbors, he killed like what? Vlad, the pig guy, and Eleanor by accident kills herself,
Yeah.
but he blames himself for that. By the way, the scene, as far as funniness, I did chuckle when him and a skeletal Eleanor snuck by the mortician guy.
I did too.
I laughed
did
at
too.
that. I was like,
Because I was wondering is he gonna carry her, and all of a sudden they're just,
no,
like, going across together. Yeah,
that was funny. That was funny. But that's it. Really, it's just man. The humor in it, and I like horror comedies if done well. We already covered plenty of horror comedies here that especially
Recently.
classics. I mean, even like I know Deathstream is divided, but I really enjoyed it. As far as relatively newer films, But a good horror comedy is fun. Army of Darkness, that's a horror comedy, but it's fucking great.
Totally killer.
Totally. Oh my god, that
Totally
just
Killer,
came out. Yeah, even Thanksgiving to an extent could be
Thanksgiving was a horror
classified
yeah.
as a horror comedy because it's a good balance in those films. And this one, it's not that the balance was off. It's just the storyline didn't make any sense to me. I know what they were going for. They're going for the creative mind. This is what it's supposed to talk to. This is speaking to people that are musicians, artists, screenwriters, actors, directors, content creators. This is who they're talking to, because all of these figureheads, they all fall into the same trap at one point into their careers. It happens to all of them. We're content creators. I just spoke about myself. I fall into that. But it just wasn't done very well, in my opinion. The humor was flat, very few and far between. I don't like movies that rely on grossness to be funny. I don't like that. The Vlad character was gross to look at. You got Alex Winter, bro, and you're burying him in this heavy ass makeup that's terrible. I'm glad at least wasn't he the lawyer? He was his lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He was his lawyer too.
So at least they had him in a bit role outside of the makeup. Because I swear to you, once I saw that Vlad character, I said, okay, that's Alex Winter. It's a bad makeup. Like, oh, God. I spotted that motherfucker a mile away. But yeah, man, let's wrap this up. I don't think this one is going to go very well. Let me see. Who is the one that always gives the worst scores? JR, let's go with JR first. Let's get you out the way, brother. What's good, bro?
No, for me, and like I said, I looked at there people talk, and a lot of people are talking about this one.
Yeah,
This one,
yeah.
a lot of people are talking about this movie, and I went in, it's like, all right, so it's like a horror comedy. I mean, we problem with horror comedies either is going to be good or it's going to be bad.
Yes.
There's no in between.
Yep.
Horror comedy, there's no in between, and the fact that you brag about the gore, you brag about how bloody it is, and it takes that long in the film to start getting that. I mean, I'm sorry. Start killing people off in the beginning. Destroy all neighbors. I mean, the name itself did not help the movie at all.
No. Misleading.
Because I expected a whole massacre, like him killing everybody.
Yeah.
And the fact that the person he kills is a neighbor like that, it's just a lot of it didn't make sense.
And the pig man, Philip, like his death
Yeah.
was flat as fuck.
It was boring.
I mean, the pig ate him. That's how he got off of. Why? Oh, okay, never mind. He ended up in jail because of the end sequence, a hostage situation.
The hostage situation was dumb too. That whole thing was dumb. I mean, even the scene where the cops outside, he gives them the box at the hand, and that. Oh, I wish I could end the week without one of these. That wasn't even funny at all.
No, not funny.
It's just there was nothing comical in this film. Like I said, you had the small things here and there that had the potential. You wasted 2 good actors, 3 with Alex Winter, so 3 actors wasted. The lead role was probably the flattest main character I've seen in a long time.
Alex Winter and Jonah Ray are they were the 2 main producers of this film. So they're the ones back. This was them.
Now you know why. now you know why they were doing, because nobody else was gonna.
This is why we see Keanu Reeves everywhere and not Alex Winter.
Yeah, now you know where all the good ideas come from.
Yeah,
but yeah, for me, it's just this was such a massive disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure we all look forward to horror comedies because we want to see something different.
I don't mind them. Yeah, I give them a chance.
We want to see something different. We want to see what they push, and the fact that this one it felt like more you were pushed down the stairs than anything, because the hard. By the time you hit the bottom of the step, you're like, you wish you were unconscious by the second step, because that's how bad this movie got.
What the fuck this GR been, Joe?
but for me, I'm gonna give this a 2.
Joe the psychologist says this was never mind. This was GR's pick. I'm sorry. Joe the psychologist. Let me start again. What's up, brother?
What's up? Well, I'm like I said, I hated this movie. I mean, I would not recommend it to anybody. I guess maybe I didn't do enough, to find any of the humor. I don't know. I was pretty damn good when I started the movie, not by the end. And I'm gonna give it a 1. I mean, truthfully, as much
is that your lowest score ever, a 1?
I think so.
Yeah.
Far.
I know GR did like a 0.5 once.
0.5.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I was done, and I'm like, I could have watched something else fucking better. That shit was still like when I stood up, I was pacing my living room because how frustrated I was with the movie. And that doesn't happen often. And I'm like, I can't wait to hear what they're gonna say about this movie.
I have a confession. I stopped watching the film. I was like, let me watch the rest the next day, because I couldn't. Right? So I should have added that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had it. I was like, I'll finish watching tomorrow.
GR's probably like, oh, the guys are gonna kill me. He's probably thinking, fuck, Rick's gonna love this, and oh my god, we gotta hear his mouth.
Payback. I actually did think Rick's gonna love this.
Really? Oh, bro, you got some low standards.
You know why? I'll be honest. Why? Because one of the reviews I read, and they were like, "This is a classic, like Psycho Gorman." I'm like,
no, Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman was better.
Psycho Gorman at least tried to be different.
No, it was way better than this one.
And Psycho Gorman owned to his cheesiness. This movie tried to be clever. Psycho Gorman was not. Psycho Gorman knew what it was. This film tried to be clever with the whole synopsis, the theme, the audience they're catering to, getting Alex Winter in there. Nah, it's not. It's different. All right, I'm sorry. Joe, you give it a 1?
Yeah, I give it a 1.
All right, my score is a 2 as well. I'm gonna give it a 2. I could go a 1. I don't think I've ever given any fucking film a 1 before. I'm like thinking to myself, I don't think so. But because of the practical effects, I'm a sucker for practical. At least they didn't go too CGI. Some of the stop motion was crap. I hated the makeup on Vlad. Didn't like it. But some of the other stuff was okay, I guess. But as it was a short film, it did not overstay its welcome, because it was like an hour and like 30 minutes. I think less than that. Hour 20.
Hour 25.
So yeah, so at least I would give it the point, because it didn't try to do too much. So it's a fast watch, but if I say to myself this, I'm never ever gonna go back and watch that movie again, that's a problem. So maybe it doesn't hit us, but there is an audience for it. So it's not my bag. Whatever. Ricky Grimes. JR, thank you, my brother, and Joe the psychologist. come back next week for another episode of 3 Corners of Horror. Enjoy horror. Stay safe. Stay sane. Drink beer, or if you don't drink some water. Stay safe, everyone. Be healthy. We love you. Stay scared.